With this video, you'll be able to test yourself to find out whether you're an advanced mountain biker, and you'll learn skills you can practice right on your doorstep that will really make you a more able rider out on the trails. Judging by the thumbnail, you may be expecting skills like manuals, bunny hops, fakie, or nose pivots. Well, nope, because my channel is about teaching you skills that you really need to feel safer on technical trails. And although the previously mentioned skills are nice to have and fun, they're not really essential to ride techie trails with control and less fear. That's why in this video, we're sharing 3 techniques that you can easily practice in a parking lot, skills that are essential for control, and a lack of these skills is therefore often a reason for fear, avoidable crashes, and stagnation. First, let's start with a coordination test which will uncover which skills you really need to work on. If you can perform this test easily without having specifically practiced, then congrats! You're a very able rider with the coordination skills that are actually needed out on the trails. If you're having trouble with this exercise, I recommend you watch this video all the way through, so don't click through or fast forward or you'll miss the important details. And above all, I recommend that you practice the skills we're sharing with you today, because nothing will change just by watching. But if you really practice, you'll feel more confident, less fearful, and more in control than ever before. So here's the test with which you can start. You can also do this inside. Find a wall or a fixed object and lean your front wheel head on at a 90-degree angle. Turn the frame so that it's at a 45 angle to your front wheel. Lower the saddle, sit on it. Now place your feet on the pedals, stand up and balance without using the brakes. Push back slightly, rotate the cranks backward a tad, the bike rolls backwards a little, then pedal forward again to touch the wall with the front wheel again. Repeat this 5 times. Touch, balance, push back, roll back, touch again. If you can do this with the handlebars to the left and to the right 5 times in a row at the first attempt, then amazing. If not, then start practicing with what you're learning with us today, because this exercise reveals a lot. If you can't do it, then it's a sign that your coordination, your feet, ankles, hips, upper body, it still needs work. To improve it, all you need to do is practice with these exercises. Let's get started with exercise 1. The first one is riding balance lines. So balancing on a line or on a curb or something similar. What are the benefits of practicing this? 1, you practice hitting the line you want to hit. This increases your control and your safety, both subjectively and objectively. Out on the trails, sometimes there's only a single rideable line. Or in very advanced terrain, the trail is very narrow, or you're on a skinny, like a Northshore element, and that's why you need to hit that line to not risk falling off the trail or the feature. If you know that you can easily do so you can easily hit and stay on the line, you'll feel safe in these scenarios, and you will actually be safe, not just feel safe. Reason number 2 for practicing this is it improves your coordination skills, which generally help you to learn techniques faster and to adapt them spontaneously. And this gives you more control, playfulness, and safety in technical terrain. Approach at a jogging pace. Stay on the line on the ground. If you don't have a line, you can mark out a corridor with cones or ropes. Level 2 is decrease the speed, ride slower, like a walking pace. You will now notice that you need to use your knees, your upper body, your hips and shoulders to maintain your balance. Tip: if you get a little lower in the bike by bending your arms and legs, you can now use your arms like windshield wipers to tilt the bike underneath you from left to right to give you even more balance options. This will also increase your confidence and control on wet and loose terrain, as you can let the bike dance beneath you while remaining stable through the feet. Level 3 is slow down even more and come to a complete stop briefly. Then accelerate by using a ratchet stroke. That's a partial rotation of the cranks, not a full rotation. How does this help you out on the trails? You'll learn to maintain your balance even at a very slow speed and to use the ratchet stroke, which will enable you to maintain or build momentum even when the terrain does not allow full pedal strokes. There are, of course, countless other levels for this skill, like these. If you want even more levels, then check the video description or simply click the link here. Let's continue with skill 2. Skill 2 is a pedal-assisted front wheel lift, also called wheelie impulse or quarter punch front wheel lift sometimes. Where do you need this skill? For example, to lift your front wheel over a route when pedaling in a technical uphill section or up a ledge, or just simply to generate more flow on technical climbs. Or if you want to lift your front wheel up or over obstacles at very slow speeds. Practice it in the flat first before you apply it on uphills. Level 1 is to first lift the front wheel in a seated technique. You can either have the saddle all the way up or lower it a tad. 1. Shift into a rather easy gear and pedal at a walking pace. Since everyone rides a different gear ratio, I can't tell you exactly which gear you need, but it will probably be in the upper third of your cassette. Play around with it a little. 2. As soon as the pedal of your stronger leg is at the highest point, suddenly pedal hard and lean back with your upper body by extending your arms. Important, always cover the rear brake because you can engage it if your front wheel should come too high. For level 2, we can now add a timing factor. Find a marker to lift your front wheel over. Use a stick or a string. Level 3 is actually pretty similar to how you'd use this skill out on the trails. Lift your front wheel up onto a curb. To help the rear wheel roll up, you can unweight it by standing up as the rear wheel rolls against the curb. Here too, we have so many more levels for you. If you'd like to do them, then make sure to check out the description below and the pinned comment. So here's a short theoretical information. What are the benefits of doing these exercises and what are the benefits of improving your coordination in general? Think of coordination as your fertile soil and new riding skills as the seeds for plants. And advanced skills are beautiful, fully grown plants, healthy plants. So if you want to have a garden with lots of different plants, in other words, you want to have many advanced riding skills, big plants, the more fertile your soil is, the faster your plants will grow, right? And good coordination is exactly this fertile soil. If you enrich the soil first, you can then grow many plants much faster with less effort in less time. And that's why we're doing this. Now let's come to skill 3, the track stand. A real track stand is performed without engaging the brakes, using your feet, ankles, and micro adjustment with the pedals to find and keep your balance. The track stand is not just a trick. Actually, it's a very important skill for more safety on trails. You can use it to keep control when it's tight, when it's narrow, when you're riding slowly, and it's a great indicator of how good your fine coordination really is. You can't really get around a track stand if you want to ride tight corners safely, if you want to learn or improve nose pivot turns and slow speed skills, if you want to ride through natural trails smoothly, etc. Well, you can get around it, but you'll be probably masking your errors with speed, and this will hurt you in the long run because that missing link in your chain will make the chain snap at some point. Why so? Well, a baby will first learn to stand, then walk, and then run, right? Yeah, it should be the same with mountain biking, but conveniently, you can compensate for a lack of balance with speed, which is why many riders who don't have a good balance ride too fast. What happens if you ride too fast too early? In my full-time coaching experience, riding too fast with little coordination and compensatory habits causes many avoidable crashes and often leads to anxiety and poor technique, which you automate and rehearse every time you ride, which leads to stagnation, i.e. your skills no longer develop at a specific point. And that's why practicing is important. Here is the next skill, track standing. Level 1 is balancing by leaning onto an object sideways. To do this, find an obstacle and lean your front wheel against it, apply the brakes and find your balance while standing. In our free track stand course, we have even easier levels for you. You can find it below. And we also have intermediate and advanced levels. So in case you haven't started with my free course yet, then make sure to check it out. Level 2 is now riding against an obstacle, leaning onto it, and riding away again. Many people whose coordination is not well developed yet often have difficulties performing this, although it also looks very easy. I'd like to share something that will help you way beyond learning to ride a bike. And that is, the more difficult this is for you, the more important it is. If something is difficult, it's not a stop sign. It's actually a billboard. And the billboard is saying, this is where you can grow, where you can flourish and take a step towards becoming your best self. Or you can walk away. It's your choice. So if it's difficult, make sure to read the billboard. Level 3 of this skill is approaching an obstacle head on, balancing without using the brakes and riding away again by pushing off gently backwards. You do this by bringing your hips slightly towards and then back again, simultaneously releasing the pressure from the front pedal, then turning the handlebars and looking into the direction in which you want to accelerate. Again, here you're going to use a ratchet stroke, which is super relevant for you on the trails. That partial rotation of your cranks you already learned earlier in this video, not that full rotation. And again, this looks super easy on camera, but make sure to practice this because it is such an essential skill to master, and these slow speed skills really improve your finesse. With this video, I want to show you that you don't always need trails to improve. On the contrary, you can learn many skills faster, safer, and easier when you're not distracted, like here on a parking lot or on your front yard, because your brain needs to be relaxed to learn. With this video, we want to show you that you don't always need trails to improve. On the contrary, you can learn many skills faster, safer, and easier when you're not distracted, like for example on a parking lot or on your driveway, because your brain needs to be relaxed to learn. The advantage, you can practice these skills even when it's raining, for example on an underground parking lot or under a bridge, and I can promise you that you'll improve your bike control immensely if you actually practice these exercises or similar exercises regularly. If you want to make it the easy way, then check out the pinned comment below, because I have dozens of exercises for you to set up and practice right on your doorstep. Practicing can be fun, and you'll notice the gain in confidence, and you'll feel less fear, have much more fun on the trails, ride more technical sections, and you'll start to ride faster also. And you'll need less strength and improve faster. As I said, coordination is your fertile soil, the breeding ground for your plants, and every plant represents a skill you need to ride trails. It's up to you whether you want a garden filled with plants, in other words, many skills to choose from, plants that grow easily and effortlessly, or if you want a hard and dry soil in which your plants grow very slowly with a lot of effort only, or not at all. I look forward to practicing with you soon. Take a look right here and also below. And if you don't know my podcast yet, then I think you'll like it. So make sure to check it out. Thank you for being here. I'm Roxy, and the guy you saw is Bernie. Goodbye.